This one, no more chances to make it to Madrid. Both of these rosters want to be attending as many of those global events as possible.
High expectations set on the shoulders of each of them.
And you see Sentinels running a pistol round at the beginning here, where they're going to paranoia and try to throw a nade off the cam contact. LEV are nowhere near. Right, so both teams' pistol round ideas don't even interact with each other for now.
Opposite sides of the map. Will be a chance here for Sentinels to play their retakes. They're known for it, their defensive setups.
Yeah, their defensive
protocols.
retakes, they're so good over towards A.
Really nice. But an open plant. They've gone for heaven here. Now a refight will be on the cards. Out towards ramp now, everybody. Side by side, shoulder to shoulder. One slip up could spell disaster, but that double face just off the boombot contact. Paranoia followed it up, and now they're finally at least taking a bit of that space, but they've got to refight past this wall, waiting for it to go down now. Clearing it.
SEN are trying to be extremely thorough here, but the more time they take, the more Mazzino's pull is going to be just an endgame checkmate.
Slight slip up there, Zekken just not having the gun out. King just holding it down, straight into the elbow. You can't remove it. And that's LEV. Pistol round. Granted and gained.
Spectacular individual stuff from King to open things up. He really struggled in that opening match, and I thought, oh, that's not a great sign for Leviathan's season if this star player, super fragger IGL, isn't going to be able to be online. And then he was amazing in the match against Loud.
Yeah.
So I don't think they'll struggle to get value out of him here. Senna's still going to have a little bit of danger in this one, though. There is potential for some kind of crunch over towards B main. They're going to go for this smoke and flash setup.
Paranoia as well. That's just delayed ever so slightly. Sassy with a repeat, but large expenditure of that utility here. Still, it's all about navigating it. I mean, there's been insane amounts of consistency with teams winning on their eco rounds. For whatever reason, in Americas, teams have just gotten a lot better at using the util, using the classics.
It's not just in Americas as well. Happening globally right now. King is pulling attention towards A. Sentinels have already rotated, expecting some kind of pivot. And there's nobody home on the A side. Yeah, but no rifle dropped. He was only running with a ghost, so it's not a huge opening in the round for Sentinels. They'll need a little more.
Tech's going walkabout, him and Aspas hunting for some more kills. Love to fill up the ult meter. Guardian not getting the job done, but will he expect Tex tucked? Just a bit of bait, swinging round 10. Oh my. Still good for the one, but eventually with the trade now, dropping down onto the site. You feel the pressure mounting onto Com. Has to really adjust the aim here just for the boom bomb, but the damage definitely being pumped into them. Zelsis from the back here. Pull. First line of defense onto this one, dissuading this from the plant, but Aspas taking damage. Mazzino with the rifle.
They're
this
so
is
weak.
Scrappy and weak and winnable. No planted. Out wide. Second with the ghost. That was earned a little bit earlier. Sticking. Sassy! Oh my goodness!
It's unbelievable.
The consistency in the ecos.
And I think the biggest playmaker, yes, it was still tight towards the end, but the biggest playmaker in that round is TenZ with a classic, in my opinion. Because the way that he just broke that hold, I mean, obviously King goes down early, but it's this one. Double headshot and so much damage there onto Aspas. Broke Leviathan's attempt to go and take some other portion of the map. These second round kind of eco wins have been more than 50% higher than they were last year. I think that's absurd.
It's ludicrous.
I think it's because teams, in a weird kind of way, are being forced to play around the utility instead of just relying on hero plays.
Playing field being brought up a tad. This new year of VCT.
And of course, Aspas could still be an incredible danger in this round too.
Wow,
Shot in the back,
shot
though.
down, shot in the back, and he did have the rifle. Will be retrievable once the carnage is cleared out through mid.
Leviathan playing this eco round as the Sisterhood of the Traveling Vandal. Just dropping the gun around, seeing if anybody can make use of it.
It's Tex's turn. Free aim in the right spot there. Through the wall, no bullets connecting. Flash with the repeat. Used in kind. Util still creeping up onto the angle, but will crosshair placement be good enough? Lots to manage, lots to watch out for. That is a dirty angle. Celsius, he wants a little bit more here. Pushing all the way up, clearing out the players. Pesky problems up into heaven, so a clean one for Sentinels, flawless.
They've dealt with any danger there. Got themselves started nicely on this defense half. One of the things to keep an eye on is that Leviathan during their game with Loud, the desk had a lot of criticism for them being a little sloppy, timings being off, the fundamentals not quite being there. So that's a big area for us to be paying attention to as Leviathan start their attack side. They need this one, otherwise their economy is going to be flat again.
You see a bit of a skirmish breaking out now, out into B main. One-way smoke, round the corner, disrespect shown by Aspas. Dash though, used to get out of dodge, still holding close to the corner. That is Sassy, choosing to use this. Just a Trailblazer, gets confirmation that there are a few players tucked still now into B main, losing control of it.
That's extremely early in the round for Aspas to be using his dash. They're not going to have that to be able to get into sight. It does make it difficult to run this burst dive comp without a dash engage, but they're drawing out good utility from Sentinels. Now the question is, are they actually able to use the other minute on the clock to go and take some space and make it easier for them to get into sight?
Smoke's refreshed. See Calm, he's got Trailblazer being held into his hands. Not going into the direction of market though, Zelsis. Doesn't expect that. The text could have already crossed, so overzealous is the approach. It's given that first kill advantage now to LEV with 38 seconds. It's ticking down steadily. There's danger here that they might run out of time, but now you might just see a bit of an explosion out towards heaven with the flash. Sets that one up. Taking all that space off angle by Zekken. What can he do with a rifle? Satchel. Delay and deny. That's just Sassy with the Spectre still. Double drop down, too much to deal with. Playing close to the pillar. You got a crossfire setup from Sen. They're really just trying to evade capture, but Aspas doing so much for them. 12 seconds. Remember, time becomes an issue, especially with TenZ holding close. Through the box, John is there. 6 seconds. Has to be the committal. Did time? I'm not even too sure. I'm not too sure. Did it have enough? It's a win! No. It's a win, not enough time!
Unbelievable! Unbelievable that Sentinels are able to win that round by TenZ hiding in a corner, dropping the spike plant, allowing John to play in, and then John just hides. I mean, if we can get a replay and look at the milliseconds on the clock here, it's got to be like single-digit milliseconds that made the difference. It was extraordinarily close.
Nail-biter, 3-1 lead for Sen. The defense side is going to be where they're favored. They put a lot of work into this, especially on split, like the analyst was saying. Ram through, Aspas. So damn low, there's coverage there. Over the shoulder, that's Tex.
And that's very good awareness from Leviathan. TenZ fights A-Ramp super aggro in a lot of these rounds.
Aspas, seen him do this one before. Updraft. Over the top, now a dash as well. Follows it up before the util. Sassy, he's still alive. Just maintaining that ground. Flash through, that's a peek from the rest of his team. It's connecting onto everybody. Blind as anything. Aspas through the main angle. It's being watched for, and he's a lone player. Left to do so much here. Aspas, we know he's capable, but he just cannot land the Blade Storm.
And it's another lovely round from Sen. They were aware when the Viper Wall went up, did 94 damage to Aspas at the start of the round, and then Sassy's anchoring is excellent, because it not only does it find him a pick, but it also creates so much pressure on the rest of Leviathan, it actually plays in the rest of his team through heaven. You can't focus on everything at once when Sassy's alive there, being such a nuisance. This is already starting to be a little bit of...
All grouped up, 4-1 default. Xeno on the opposite side of the map here, but LEV probably going to be going for a familiar play, maybe a fast play up through ramp, or possibly to the site with the ult, who knows. Ramp control, that's what they're aiming for.
Again, this kind of play designed to bully TenZ, who is often going to be in that spot. He's actually made the swap over to B with John Cutie, so coming out of the timeout from Leviathan, Sentinels change up how they're running their defensive side.
It's common enough angles that are just being spammed down here, but given a lot of room to breathe. They put the wall up. Methodical with the clearance.
Oh, that's actually allowing the dog there to take all of that space. It's given LEV a much happier time over in heaven.
Yeah, full control of it. Still worried about Ven. Aspas!
That's a huge pick.
Lovely
That puts
adjustment.
so much more threat now as to where Leviathan can go in the map. They can be in B heaven right now, but instead, Lev, it looks like the best call of action here is to go from heaven to sight with Tex' ult. And it's going to be so difficult for Sassy.
And Sassy marooned, isn't he? On an island into the corner. This time the nade will clear him out surely. Dash forwards there. Sassy still gets the one. Follow-up second spamming, spraying and praying. Only with the Phantom though, it's damage. Bullets going wide here. Plan for King. Get themselves now into this post plant. Casino from afar will be, again, the backup, potentially with the stars, but already in, straight into elbow damage. Weakened. Second on 12 HP. How did they get themselves into this one? It's almost an impossibility. Maybe with a satchel to set up the play, but nobody wants to peek for it. Leading the charge, Zekken, weaken a player, showstopper, and fired! 2 versus 2. You gotta get a move on here. Players round Zekken, 12 health still, and trying to do it versus the star player of this team, Aspas. He bides his time, he waits it out, he knows he's got a cross, but he misses the initial shot. A tap, Zekken, baiting, but ice cold from Aspas. He knows how to win it out.
Immaculately played with the timing there from Aspas. You'll often see the superstar players go for the clip. Not him, not in that moment. Making sure that Lev get on the board coming out of their timeout round. And that opener onto Celsius was also a huge one for Lev to be able to get into the site and commit somewhere knowing that their back was clear. Second really made a try of it there though.
All as the lowest player. Really did make it look dangerous.
Leviathan are putting an enormous emphasis on dominating ramp control at the start of these rounds.
Same play almost every single time, just with the pull comboed up. Hoping to catch a player that might just be overextending, like you said, you know, Ten's playing in that position from time to time.
Extremely reminiscent of the game that Finesse called against EG last year. All of this pressure A ramp opens up mid. I mean, you look at it, they've rotated 4 players over to try to deal with any potential A heaven push. Only now is Sassy going back to make sure that there hasn't been a deep lurk.
Poison's on.
Map control into mid though, still being held down for the time being. They're concerned that players are still holding on to that ramp control. Sen.
I think this round, Bren, Com's Seekers are just going to give away that there's nobody anchoring A. If Com decides to use it at some point, they should be able to get a post-plant Viper's pit down. Look, all of the Seekers going up there.
Yeah.
Actually,
well,
one
one's going into sight, so that does put some concern and consternation into it. Celsius spraying down with a kill trip. Close angle, Zekken still there. Tries to disengage with the satchel, but can't get loose a King.
30 seconds left.
Still there with the hold down, and the pit really giving that cover and fire. Sentinels are fast onto the approach, spamming all the corners. Not into the usual places, but it does allow them to get into the site.
This is so difficult, so awkward for Lev. They could just get swung through. Sassy, though, has no flash.
First contact for Aspas. That is magical. The reaction times. Fire on all cylinders. Snap to the side. Celsius and King onto the high ground here. Cage tapping away. Half on the diffuse. John QT. He will be removed. The molly on top, but is it gonna be enough? Surely. Potentially. Celsius! Decay and vulnerable, but already half on the diffuse. Sentinels, well navigated.
And an amazing round from Celsius. That ult, I love it. It spills out from screens and puts so much pressure onto people trying to play any kind of post-plant positions, trying to get the spike down. And the flicks he had inside here, the rifling skill to pick up 4. Beautiful awareness, good reaction and protocol from Sen. And they've knocked Leviathan's economy down instantly. I mean, when you win one and lose like that and just get rid of all of the loss bonus, devastating.
Yeah, detrimental. Working with scraps here.
One of the ways that Leviathan were able to put some pressure on Loud and cause some of that chaos was by getting these lurks in through A. It's so much more difficult to do that when there's a Cypher on the other side. You don't know when you're going to hit a trip or a cam. This time, though, John, reluctant to dominate this smoke with Aspas having popped his knives. Could be inside of it. He certainly was.
I hear that dash here. Full control. All for the side here. The Viper's pit, though, that's going to be blocking off the screen's angle. It allows King to play deep into it, but it doesn't cover the actual spike. They're committing the Cosmic Divide into this. It's on a weaker buy round, a really all-in approach from Lev, and it has to come up with the goods. Aspas, still with the Blade Storm. Smoke dropped down. He's just trying to sow some chaos into it, make sure he can play the distraction, but it's all being watched for. 2 players there, still from the main angle. Mazzino a tap onto this one, round to the back, and he does bite back, half on the defuse. Zelsis, the pull wasn't in time for this one, re-smoked off as well. That's going to be putting this all on the line. The pressure there, Sentinels, they have it all under control.
That's really bizarre from Leviathan that they weren't allowed to apply any pressure there to the defuse. They had the pull was a little late and already allowed half to come on. And then there didn't really seem to be a game plan for the follow-up. The retakes from Sen are calm, controlled. They go through the motions, ensure that they punish anybody that tries to refight for heaven or swing onto that diffuser. I love the methodical approach that Sentinels have. It's so different to last year.
Really well drilled. They alternate that defensive setup. It's immaculate. Looking around the ults that they might have too.
So this is one of the first times where Leviathan don't dominate A ramp at the very beginning. Second and 10s were both there, ready to fight it.
It's been re-cleared.
Yeah, Dog is going to re-clear out King. But I think this should make it obvious that Lev are playing for mid as well. Right? You don't see anybody over on this side of the map.
In bot. King. Hoping for the timing, that's a showstopper. Around the side 9 health, King. Oh my goodness, gonna be holding your breath after that. Tagged up, delayed. Zelsis is there with the snake bites, still trying to just lock down control of this heaven area. Now, there's gonna be that pressure onto John QT. Has to play within his cages, backing away. Maybe he can point straight to the tracers. They're gonna be swarming his position on from the high ground approach. He doesn't know which angle to watch for. How does he get that kill? It's precise. Players into the position. King takes a cheeky one. Bite of the apple, backs away, doesn't overstay his welcome.
Excellent timing in the round there from King. He's put his players in an advantage situation. Sen are going to find it difficult here.
Squad.
Heal on line 2. Top these players right back up. Crossfire. All into spawn. How do they deal with this? It's all watched into main. The movement, 10s attempting to jiggle and force that fight out, at least isolate it. Has to be given up now by Sen, they realize it. Big player disadvantage, so Lev. Great round for them to get themselves back onto their feet.
A really important
They've
time.
got to keep these guns intact.
Yeah, it is important. I mean, they're pretty fine in their current situation. They would still be fine even if they lost another one. But yeah, Lev's economy is only just starting to build up. So they would like to keep it as healthy as possible. A reminder, Leviathan picked the attack side to begin with, right? And this composition, often we've seen it go really well on the attack side. The double duelets can be explosive, difficult to deal with. But Sen have got a very nice idea of when they want to play retake, how they want to slowly clear out the rest of the map and put pressure on Lev in the post plan. But when you heard the devs talk about the map pool, this is where they were expecting Sen to have the largest advantage.
I think that makes sense as well. Consider the amount of attention that Sen put into it.
For sure. This was an amazing map for them during the offseason, and it even looked good. It looked so winnable in the game against Loud. But you could have said that for both of these teams. It's been an extraordinarily tight Group B. Sen are picking this time into re-clear B main, which isn't something they've done very much of. But here comes the Trailblazers on both sides.
Misses. Oh, stun. Can't link that one up into a follow-up, so Zelsis, does he really choose to press the advantage? Yes, he does. I mean, absolute insanity from him. Luckily, traded out for Lev.
You could see there they expected Zelsis to be back in vents. They were trying to put some pressure on him with a flash and a double blast pack. Sassin takes contact over here. He's got Tens and Zekken, the young'uns of the squad, to back him up. And again, we see King in a position where he'd love to try to get a lurk off, but he just can't get that aggressive. He's worried about running into all of the Cypher utility. There's only 30 seconds here. This may end up in a mad scramble
30
towards
seconds
A,
left.
where John could again play to try to win the round through time. There is very little on the clock.
The cage as well to partition up a section of the side. 20 seconds. Gonna move on.
Why destroyed?
Dash forwards by Aspas, clearing it up and cutting it up into the side. He wants to take the peek. Trying to play the anti-flash, John! There's 2 kills. Spike still up into heaven. You got to drop down here, Mazina. Got to go for this plant.
It has to be safe.
Oh my, round to the corner, King. Trying to exert his control onto this section of the map, at least maintain that control for it, but just locked down into too many unfortunate positions.
I thought the way that Leviathan were coming through heaven was actually really nice. The flash, Aspas coming forwards, and John just takes a swing timing that completely catches them inside of their utility. The timing plays there from Zelsis and from John, stepping in front of the util to some degree in order to find that aggression, find that timing. It's another round where SEN are able to get off a retake because their players are just in a great position right as the spike goes down.
There's no hesitancy when they heard that spike going down. They realized they could take the fight of one player out of the action. It's one of the bread and butters of the success of Sentinels so far this year. They've really been drilling that, making sure they make those correct decisions, not wasting any time in the moments, right when they matter. LEV have a few rifles online into this one, just Aspas and Com. Potential playmakers. Nade. No way. Com almost blinded himself into the process to follow up with the Morley. Almost with the transfer. Zelsis. This guy's looking like an absolute menace still. With the Stinger in close quarters, that's really where it thrives. So Tex, an exchange of the weaponry into mid, you can start to calm the round down if you are LEV.
King knows that there's a camera up here. Breaks it. Maintains a little bit of pressure over towards A heaven. In the meantime, TenZ is walking out B main. Just using that info and having some bravery to go and take a risk. You could argue it's unnecessary in this kind of round, but LEV have picked up 2 rifles. It's quite even.
Second looking for the walkout. Sees it, first shot. Not quite landing to the dome, but it's damage done equally. Has to back away and respect this now. Plant onto B.
Satchel out.
Section to the side here. LEV seeking to reclaim a bit more ground. Pushing forwards into
This ult is so good.
Big ult.
It lets second and TenZ know whether or not they're being pressured.
Oh, and a small phase. Mazzino who's just trying to cross into a better position, a better angle. It's all onto Tex really with the rifle. King, what can you do? Only with the Sheriff wrapping around. The tap onto the defuse. TenZ, they're picking them apart here. And the damage, far too weak. Tex just can't make a play. 8 rounds now for Sen.
You are really seeing the advantage here for Sentinels taking the offseason super seriously, drilling all of these setups, protocols. The team is on the same page. They're decisive with each other, not making too many individual moves. Even when TenZ makes this repush out through B main, he comes back to second, and they play together off each other. Very nice.
Okay, watch the B pop, but you guys need to not rotate off A. Yeah, because remember that Astral here?
And you hear there's Zelsis drilling out what his team needs to be looking out for in round 12. It's not going to be the B pop though. Everybody from LEV getting ready to burst into the A site.
Potentially again using that showstopper, but it's the final round of this first half. How do they take it? Early flash being utilized by Sen. Put some pause and hesitation into the play of LEV. They can't quite gain that ground like they were hoping for, but now taking it in a different direction. Cosmic Divide playing in front of it. Sassy's there, backing. Now away, kill trip. Tex just trying to hold this one for us, but he's lit up like a Christmas tree, and you can play Ring Around the Roses, weaving in and out. The Cosmic Divide, it does not matter, will not protect him. Clearance called here by Sen. Pushing down now with the Trailblazer, flash forwards. It's all being utilized, making sure that they can just make this as difficult as possible for LEV. But with the plant down, maybe they can have a go of it. Still, all the players in position onto the post plant, pushed up onto the site. Complete control for Sen. And it's slow. It's the way the siege goes here. 5 players, they can pick them apart, but Aspas might just be the first one to do it. King alongside him. Filling up the feed and red. You need more where that comes from. It's all down to Aspas. He can't get it done.
Once more, the methodical nature of Sentinels there, putting pressure on the people as Plant was going down, and then setting up that advantage retake. These have worked so nicely for Sen.
Switching sides.
And their defense has, I think, generally been a bit better on split, so there's still chances for LEV in the next half. But in general, this has just been And outplay. Lovely, lovely retakes. Great way to start the match for Sentinels.
Wonderful beginning. You're right, there is still chances for LEV, but this is just domination on their map pick. Elimination came on the line, and we've got Liz standing by with Mama Zekken up here. Fun fact, Zekken, one of our top players in Americas last year statistically, despite the poor performance of his overall team, and he's up against Aspas. Also holds the top spots.
LEV are going to need this pistol. Aspas supports Sheriff. Doesn't look like they're going towards him in this round, though. I mean, look how quickly Sentinels have taken fence control.
Zekken. Early bit of damage applied here. Takes one straight to the head, but the heal's online. So back up to 100. King with a jump spot, holding the molly, the snake bite. Here's the rumble with the footsteps and just slows it down. But this is a lot of utility and a lot of players being pulled around at the minute mark.
Sen are still really flexible in terms of where they can end. Celsius looking to apply some pressure. This Viper Orb is lovely. Very difficult to work around. You need 2 players watching either side of it.
Just dragging that attention away of LEV.
And Sen have created a nice opening for themselves over towards A.
Bazino anchoring position into elbow. We've seen many players pop off from this spot, but can he do it too? Look at a draw with that one, but he'll take it. Sassy, drop down and out of the fight now. Will be the plant.
30 seconds left.
Safe position, forwards. Zekken actually giving up the ground when he hears the flash and the footsteps once more, following up behind this one. But is it a refight called? He's still holding this one, hoping for the right clicks. Tex finding it. A stun now applied. Really finding this one difficult. Risks have to be taken for Sentinels because it's all LEV right now, picking them to pieces. Round into the corner. And how have they managed to find this? All the kills. John QT. It's 4 so far. Ace available, ready and waiting. The crowd is chanting. They want it, they can feel it. Tex shuts it down, but the damage, 18 health, sticking half on the defuse. It's all 10s.
How have Sentinels pulled that pistol round away? They were in a 2v4, I think, at some point during that.
Should not have been possible.
Just doubled up from Tens and John Cutie, finding that value in terms of the way that they were playing off each other, using one of the jump peaks in order to set up the other to swing. Crazy good pistol round, and LEV forced to force here. There's no other option. You're down 10-3. You just got to send it.
Complete investment. Listening to one too many Sigma male financial shorts, I think, but all in.
And this was without the plant money. LEV on defense side.
Revealing their hands with the early bullets coming through straight through mid. But Sentinel's not eager to fight there. Just that pressure applied.
Concealment.
Set the sights onto B main. Jiggle. Not punished by Mazzino. He grabs that info.
Poison orb emitting.
Look at how annoying this Viper Orb is. Gives some ground into B main, and a call is being made here right at the minute mark. Well, slightly util with the satchel forward, still using the orb to cross into the site, and they're trying to flood attempt to defend this one left. Will it be enough? Zekken! Just run straight wide there. Into hell, into the smoke. Playing off of instinct. Plant. I'll push back. Exactly 4 players up now. Ult online with a neural theft. That's going to be spotting out where any of these potential players are. And Zekken, of course, he jumps on the chat. Bomb removed. 2 players left for LEV, and it's everything that has to be invested. It's a miracle if they win this one. They're going to go for it. You have to at this point. But the crossfire set out as Jiggle peeks, watching for the high ground angle. They know where the last player is. An impossibility for King. Truly an impossibility. He'll do some damage, but that's about it. Up to 11%. They are running away with this map.
And that round might be the first nail in the coffin for Leviathan's chances on split here. They're down 3-11 with a buy that's just going to be broken from here on out. Whatever they can possibly afford has just got to be invested every time. And this version of Sentinels looks like they've learned from the game against Loud and come out with something even better.
Even better and quite bitter for LEV, honestly. Hard to swallow in this instance. You're right, Josh. You know, have to invest it all every single round just to stand a chance. Cautious at the beginning. Seeing that jump spot now.
There.
No King's playing into this tucked angle. As soon as the orb goes down, I'll be the timing for them. They've been waiting for it to go down. That is so damn fast! The dog doing the damage again. The kill! Team kill into the feed. Tex with that one. Aspas round to the side, but instantly traded off. And this is Sentinels storming and taking the lead with mid-control, but they back away. Call in for the pause in the round.
This is so difficult for Leviathan. With only 2 players left alive, Mazzino's forced to be aggressive in order to try and find some information. But both of the players clearing different routes on the way from B to A have completely missed the pathing of Sen.
Be an incorrect gamble.
And this makes the round almost impossible. They'll be in a disadvantaged situation with no idea where the Sentinels players are positioned, trying to pull off the retake. And they've got to go for it. You can't save 2 stingers into the next and play for overtime, 12-3 down. You got to go for it.
Few advantages here for Lev in this situation. They've got 2 flashes on comm. It's planted in a safe tuck position, so the post plan might be able to dealt with. But do you really expect Zekken here onto the high ground? Drops down. Hearing that one, Mazzino should be comming that one to his team. Information for him, but with the cage as well, splitting this one up. Now comm doesn't want to use Util, doesn't want to reveal his hand. He's contacting up into it, spraying through, but leaves it just down to Mazzino. Early peek here. Smoke propped up, didn't even tap this one, didn't even force the swing and face out Sen. The 12th round is theirs. One more step, that's all they have to take.
This is an absolute outclassing from Sen on this map. And yeah, these last few rounds, Leviathan's economy has been put in a bad position and they're having to send whatever they can. I mean, the way that Sen are bursting through what Lev are doing on the defense side, it's so nice. Every idea is there and tight for Sentinels on split.
Kill them.
And Zekken continues to dominate on the entries, 17-7.
He's the spearhead for the team. Being set up for all of this and he's delivering. Tap, tap goes King, but the bullets don't land. I threaten. Orbs over the top, having controls already. There's Paranoia, bit of a whiffage there. That was Tensys, I believe, connecting onto him, but Zelts is also being brought down. King into the elbow angle here. No one else to help him. Good movement in the end, but it's traded instantaneously.
I have the spike. Spike planted.
All of these players from Sentinels very grouped up. A little more awkward for them.
Positioning is a nasty one. You have to try and take the fight to them. That's the cause of that flash out wide. Stunned still up. It's being covered. Showstopper. It's well earned now. And out wide, playing for the fuse timer, really biding his time. Zekken, he's boasting. He's beckoning them. Come towards me if you dare. But has he bought enough time for the slam dunk finish? Aspas ripping the head off Tens. In through the back now. Zekken, nowhere to run, nowhere to hide. Double dunk. Dodging and juking. Sassy. Time is not on their side. Sentinels winning map number 1.
And what a way to finish with Sassy putting down Aspas. The superstar player from Leviathan just never got an opportunity into this game. Default compositions on both sides, but something very interesting to start off. You have Aspas and you have King and Tex buying these sheriffs to start off the round. 3 sheriffs on the attack side for Lev.
I make usage maybe of the range on the map, the long distance duels. Sentinels, hello. Flash with the flash to set that one up. That is perfection. You're witnessing it.
There go 2 of the sheriffs.
Yep, painting a masterclass before our very eyes. And John QT, far back, safe position. Tucked behind the wall. Gotta know that they've entered into that. Was a nice double peek on top of it, but he's evacuating, giving it up.
Leviathan taking control of B here. There is still a trip on the site. But you've got to imagine with how comfortable Sentinels look playing retake on split that they've drilled these retake protocols here on Breeze too. The wall's going to be helpful. Com court as well.
Look at that.
Trying to go for the backstab.
Sen biding their time, holding it down, and then they re-clear mid together with the peek all the way through. I mean, these players, do they stand a chance? Mazzino and King got to come up with more than the goods here with King.
How has King got
Lovely three-piece King! It's only down as Elsis. Hold up. Damage. He's weak. Right click's doing it. Spotting him into main, but King, you gotta think he's favored! To all him! You gotta bow down before that!
How has he pulled these kills off? I mean, he's just... They came into the round with 3 sheriffs. 2 of them dropped to the floor instantly because Sen had that lovely pop flash play in. And Sen looked, again, disciplined, controlled, on the retake. Doesn't matter. King with 4 in the round. What a beginning. It's not really a particular, you know, idea or play or team play that really wins that. But the individuals on Leviathan pulling through.
Ooh, through the wall.
That's a lot of damage.
Up down to 5. Never attempted with a flash here. They're all being picked up. The protocols seem a little bit dodgy by Lev, even though a one-rounder. You got to still expect they could just make the same play from the pistol.
And that's a really common setup as well. It's not like TenZ is innovating there with that flash.
No, it's pretty simple.
My camera is destroyed.
Same kind of feel to this as the pistol round. They haven't lost as many players, but it's still disadvantage for Leviathan coming into B. Sen happy to play retake. But with 4 pistols, they shouldn't really be favored in any of these long-range engagements.
They really shouldn't. Shots, 2 in a chamber, enough to get the job done for Aspas. Reload, reposition. Knife dealt with on top of it. Lovely damage there from the spam. It just looks curtains here for Sen. Really going down to Aspas, giving this guy easy access to the ultimate for a future round.
We haven't really seen anyone tear it up with the Outlaw recently. Like you said, this is great for the overall economy.
Aspas going for this?
You'd rather keep it, surely.
Ticking, surely. Get back out of there. Will survive, I believe, yeah.
And the Sen players playing to deny those ult orbs that Aspas would love to have gone online. So a somewhat shaky beginning to this as Leviathan go up 2-0 and yet get caught by this play in A main every time. So that's got to be something that they're aware of. In general, I think this map, on both sides, you're going to see the same kind of combo. The primary smokes players for both teams have swapped over to play KO, to play the initiator, going back to roles where both of them are comfortable. And they're going to be trying to set up the jet on various different angles.
Hooking off setup. The flash, the dart. Lobbed over into mid, just to feign like they're taking that early control. That Outlaw, will it get any sort of value? It does force the full armor purchases from Sen, so nobody's in danger of being one shot. Creeping around the map, it's Aspas. Drone spots him. One left for it, would have to be to the dome for the kill here. Now you start to see it, Util. Flying in, seeking to dissuade them from trying to take that kind of space. Second, he's gone. Taken out of the fight. Pop flash play. 10 to the re-clear, but as the smoke drop down, Aspas is getting out of there once more. To safety now in numbers, playing with the rest of them. This one is going a bit skew with across to the map. Yes, Tix did fall. He was playing onto the flank there. They don't really have to worry about the mid presence as much, but player disadvantage for Sentinels. Lev. Wonderful chance here onto the bonus. Underhanded, flash, Mazzino pushing forwards, the reposition. Aspas still there, active into the fight here with the Outlaw. Cage up. Needs to be held with the ground. Half on the defuse, such a wide face, such a wide face! And Leviathan with the bonus round.
Very good idea there from Lev. I mean, you can see that they've put some serious thought into how they're going to approach this map. There was an opportunity there for Aspas walk down halls to find the opener, and instead, it actually drew so much pressure away that Tex was able to creep in and kill Zekken. On the defense side, it's really difficult to cover all of the lanes on Breeze, now that Halls has been re-added. And if LEV are going to play this kind of slower pace style, I mean, Goked said increase the tempo, but
yeah,
here we're seeing a nice slow round played pretty well.
Nice util comboed up. This time actually respecting the A main fight.
Another round where Leviathan are pushing people deep down halls. Now we don't see a trip at the end of halls, and there wasn't one in the previous round either. It is fairly uncommon to have people full push down halls into the defender's spawn.
Here.
But having that trip there is just such peace of mind.
One down.
Weak enough.
And there you see Zekken is forced to jiggle peek it. No utility to hold that area. Punished for it. And this, I think, for Leviathan is going to really start conditioning Sentinels. They're either going to want to fight over halls themselves at the start of the round, have a trip there every time, or start pulling people away from the outsides of the map because they're worried about the lurks.
Revealing
Looking into mid, that's Aspas. Look at that, plenty of targets to choose from. Looking the other way, but finally,
My ult's ready.
adjusting with the aim.
Spike planted.
Not much
Last
to do.
player
The 7
standing.
players with the guns that they do have, so another clean one here for LEV. Make their way up to 4.
toxins
Which is
going up.
already more rounds than they got in the entirety of Split.
Yeah.
So you can see here that the map making an enormous difference.
The money
and also
is booming.
just momentum making an enormous difference. You think back to Split,
Yeah.
they weren't able to convert off the back of the pistol. Here, huge amount of momentum coming in because they're 4-0 up, but now they're also starting to get ultimates that can benefit the economy further. Aspas 8-1. He's a player that had to come online and has so far. Bladestorm in his pocket.
So nice work from Leviathan. There's that answer that we were expecting into map number 2. Breeze their map pick. Strong start. See the defensive trip setups. More set up to allow them into the site if they do choose to go over towards B, which LEV are putting their sights set over towards us. Nice shock dart. Gets rid of the cam and a trip that was set up a little bit prior. Now an attempt to exec.
The knife is fantastic there. It just tells Aspas that there's nobody playing towards site in an anchor position at all.
It's all his focus onto the back of the side as soon as that wall goes down.
Tens has a lineup over towards ladder. Doesn't catch onto Aspas, so the Bladestorm's still online.
Spike planted.
Plan off for Mazzino. Tap. Warning shot. Second. Hello. Other side of the map. Just with the knives there. What more can you really do if you are SEN spammed in through? That was the underhanded flash to try and set that one up. Nasty business. Aspas, Mazzino. Cool, calm, collected. 2 versus 2 though. Still, you got to think time on the side of LEV here. It's ticking the position and they don't know where these players are. Even with the movement, it's offset. Zeltis can't survive. Gun picked up. Dash still there. Second. You'd have to be handed so many more after that. And King with the perfect swing. Doesn't let anything slip.
Another great round from Leviathan here, and it looks slow from Sentinels. I would say that in terms of trying to get into the site again for retake, you probably want to be so much faster than they were in that round.
Give me those back.
It's a good thing that they're looking for Com, who's always on a flank, always on a lurk when it comes to post plans.
One enemy
But the fact that they had nobody anchoring
Let's go.
just made it so much more difficult for Sentinels to get into good retake positions early on. Now Zekken, because he had the Bladestorm online, now has money for an operator. Zelsis locks down B with a trip to try to help him maintain control in this area. Sentinels' defense just got a whole lot scarier with the ult and the op.
Lots of half armor targets though, definitely danger. Aspas still holding on to the outlaw. No one looking for a fight into mid though, at least on the defensive side for SEN. Grouped up, 3 players stacking over in A. And there's that cautious tail being woven. SEN. Warning shots fired and rattled, drone through to try and lead at least one of the players in. Tex, Cage, it's a gap in it. Still with the ult online, it means that Zekken actually can't dash out of there. He's kind of trapped, entangled towards the back of the side. He needs some support and assistance from the rest of his team. There's a dart here, lit up, Tex! That is monstrous. John QT to try and reply here, but there's already players approaching the position, and look at that, the plant going down without any issues whatsoever. Into the post, perfect molly forcing them back out into the open. You've got to try and double up here. For SEN, it's just looking too damn hard.
They need some picks early on. Com is in a great position to just win the round towards the end.
Another perfect molly. This time from SEN, though, pushing the players out of the default spot. But you're right, they do need these picks, and Com, the difference maker. The difference maker. An attempt there with the trade. Sassy gets it online, but he's just one man. What can he do? Back away. Escape with your life, potentially an upgrade.
And look at how much the map change makes a difference for these teams. I mean, LEV are completely in control here. Sentinels was going for an anti-KO ult setup, where John Cutie had put down a trip on B, rotated over towards yellow, and they were stacking on A. Cam was watching the middle of the map. They had, as far as they were concerned, everything they needed. And it got broken to pieces by a flash recon setup. They were able to find the opener onto 10s and then crush second afterwards too. LEV are finding so many entries into the rounds.
Picked up this Outlaw, I think, round 2. I don't know if he's reboarded at any point, but he has been just getting more, I mean, more than his money's worth. It's all the way to round 7. Half armor targets galore.
Yeah, they've won so much that it's become incredibly useful again.
Yeah, and just bang flourishing, booming.
And look, they go for this conditioning up holes again in the anti-eco. So using these anti-eco rounds to condition their opponent.
The game plan is good by LEV.
But this is one of the first times where we're seeing Sentinels go for like a contact re-clear, and Tex should get caught off guard there.
No way, no way! Just about escaping. Sassy though. Drops down and locks down that angle. John QT with a very wide face. There was nowhere to hide for Tex. Ult online. Couple of guns granted, and you're going to see the positioning of these players here. LEV, got to get a move on.
Extremely different approach in this round from Sentinels. They're the team pushing the tempo.
One player though to try and take the fight as John QT will pick his timings wisely. Doesn't look like he wants to overplay his hand. It's been clear. John QT. Absolute beauty with that one. Sassy opens the door wide. Is the face. 3 players in main for SEN to get onto the board.
And if SEN are looking to be that mobile and aggressive on their defense side, then it's going to catch Leviathan off guard a little. It's a huge thrifty to get them back into the game. They're still at an enormous round deficit. 11 now going to have to adjust a little bit. Tex was not ready for that push at all. He had a cam in elbow, could have been tapping in. Could have been thinking about the push. See if LEV make any adjustments here.
Zeno looks like they're making most of the adjustments there. Trip's been placed for double doors and A. Retake setup. Draft. Pass with the attack side operator.
Looking to try to break a trip that I don't think John has ever placed there.
He hasn't been placing this one. Where is this Hunter's Fury being offloaded to? Where is the direction? I mean, it's such a large map. You're not going to get lucky. Nobody into mid. Tag up. Zelsa's backing away. A weird start, a weird beginning.
That's super bizarre.
Cam does see all.
And this is where the whole split could come in.
It could, and it needs to come in right now. Clutch, surely, for the team. Plan was pushed back. Aspas, though, head removed off the shoulders. Counterpart finding it through the wall. Zekken is doing the most.
There's a lurk on a lurk happening here. Tex manages to find his way up and around the back, but he can't get a kill out of it. Zekken has dominated this round.
With shots. Reveals a position. They know exactly where Tex is, at least. It's going to be hovering around mid. Spike drop down as well. Hello. One opened up. Tens goes down. Surely there's no chance. Surely. 35 seconds left. Tex not making any moves towards it. Zekken's thinking about it.
30 seconds left.
Definitely thinking about it. You can hear the footsteps onto the sand. They're rustling around. And yeah, he's just dropping into his face!
Awesome round from Zekken, though. Incredible stuff. As soon as that door opens at Switch, there's a lot of threat in the round. Because John Cutie could easily get overwhelmed. And actually, you saw Aspas with an op. Sorry, not the op. I think it was still the Outlaw, wasn't it? Just peeking through here. No, it was the op. My bad. But either way, for Zekken to be able to grab that kill is enormous. Now Zekken's going to have the operator. Sen still need to play aggressive off the back of this, though. They can't afford to just let LEV get the plant down.
Seeing that setup now with the dart and the flash. It's comboed all together, but a dash backwards as they realize it's a fast play in through the B side. Trips in through the choke point, makes LEV think twice about it.
Yeah, and also the knife. Tens with a lineup knife into elbow caught almost everybody on Leviathan. No opportunity for them to go and use that timing to exec.
Forcing that brute force buffer. Re-clearance called by LEV now in through mid with the drone. It's good protocols here, but there might be something being cooked up. That's a close angle being held into main by Zelsis. Flash re-clearance. A little bit off with the timing, but not for Sassy. At least he does. Claim the one. Backs away. Needs to get out alive, though. He's tagged up. They're chasing him all the way down. Close to the door. Opens up. Back to safety.
Very nicely navigated there, but there's still danger.
The double doors. Texas will win it. Reactions from Tens. Expecting a follow-up into the wall. Sassy just didn't know. He's just operating purely off the timings that he expects there. 30 seconds roughly in the round for LEV.
30 seconds left.
But they still want to go for this. Tap. Nade forced out, going wide. Aspas still has the dash here, but well, can't contend, can't contest. His former teammate a championship title. They earned that one together, but they shut the round down.
So much more proactive from Sentinels in these last 3 rounds. Starting from the timeout with that eco push, but there in round 9, you see them get back into B after realizing that that hit had been called off. And the A players setting up another flash peek for information from Zelsis to support Sassy's walk down halt. It's not just an individual timing play from Sassy.
Hey, let's go, baby.
It fits into the wider team narrative of what they're trying to achieve. And they, like I said, they changed up the game plan massively here on defense.
Tools of the Viper's Pit as well to try and get themselves into a post plan.
And I actually think one of the things that Leviathan is missing a little bit are those aggressive lurks that you would potentially expect from some of the others on the team, but Tex has not been going for them too much. Here's the peek up over the top. Second did this in a prior round as well.
Has to respect though when the dart comes over and as players hot on the heels. No noise made. Drone held, now released. Out into the wild goes the owl and tag there, pushing Zekken away from the tunnel. Reposted up at the cage. Throw some misinformation into the mix. Zekken now has to worry about 2 angles.
Yeah, there's a massive gap right now. In theory, LEV could have walked into Nest. And so Sassy's taking this timing to re-drone holes and walk down. Sassy's taking some portion of the map away, but again, in theory, there could be a lurker all the way deep for LEV. Sen calling the bluff, not worried about it.
Smoke down at the feet. Flash through as well. Zekken's got to try and find a shot. That's a really, really unorthodox position. John QT punished for it. And all that Util send flying. Zekken, he can't stand it. Not against it. The onslaught, the rush. Incoming here from Leviathan. They've opened themselves up now to the site, into the post plan. Everybody intact.
LEV forced to work for this post plan, much more than we saw in the first 6 rounds. But they've done an excellent job of it. There's another punish onto Tens. And in a 2v4 facing this pit, unless they're able to get some random spam through, it looks very difficult.
Lovely pop flash by Mazzino, sets himself up for that.
Really well played this round from LEV. Overall, we've seen that defensive combo of the Cypher and Jet work out really well for other teams hard anchoring on B. But instead, they looked like they weren't really ready for Aspas doing the updraft dash setup. Mazzino's ult online. That's probably going to force Sentinels to play an anti-KO ult setup. Previously, we saw John Cutie put trips over towards B and then play A. It ended up being quite passive, that setup, though. But take a look at this. Aspas, he's in. Bit of counterspan there onto John Cutie. And the off not really in a position to do too much. I think Zekken was extremely worried about mid still.
Yeah.
He just didn't quite have the read that LEV were about to pop.
That mid-rounder was done a little bit earlier there by LEV, so they do bounce back from that. Sentinel still with money for the purchase this time. Dealing with the dart.
Not so much of an anti-KO ult setup coming out from John Cutie. Instead, Sen playing aggressive for mid control. You know, leaving both of the sites to play a retake setup, but one where they can push mid, try to target Leviathan's lurkers of which they'll usually have at least one between Com and Tex. Although in this round, all 5 bundled up A main.
Senna giving them the space. Perfectly willing to do so. Far enough back into the position here. You're seeing liners, but here's a Hunter's Fury. Sets this one up. Surely a tag, yes. Damage, no, not quite. Only the one burst. Bringing down 10s. Plus 60, 70 HP through the box. Exchange of the bullets. Slung back and forth. Kills. The advantage now for Leviathan once more, but evened out, but right back at you. I mean, Aspas is not slowing down for a moment. Flash in his face, all up to 10s. Can't adjust the aim in time. Aspas, pure takeover on this map.
Anytime Leviathan are able to get into the site and push Sentinels back, they're winning the rounds. Right? We are not seeing that 2/3 retake win percentage that we witnessed from Sentinels on Split. They've only won 1 retake round. Everything else has gone the way of LEV. So for Sen, you need to fight in this final round. You need to get 4 on the board because LEV are running away with it. As dominant as map 1 was for Sentinels, Leviathan have answered right back so far.
Veteran presence on the team. Able to withstand it. Blade Storm. Have a flash play. No one to deal with the dart either. Got that tag onto Zekken, so he has to respect it and play towards the back of the site. That's fast, trying to take the door straight to it. Jet counterpart, King taking out 10s, door opened wide and just swinging, facing from so many different directions. The Russia players and bodies, Sentinels were finding it difficult to hold on.
4v3 post-plant, already Com looking to see whether a flank is possible. King with double snake bite, already playing the lineups.
Com is so fast, look at this guy's just running with a knife out straight into the double doors. Might be being watched here. Sen got to have some level of awareness for it. He can hear them. Pinter pass with the footsteps. They reveal the perfect position of the players. 9-3.
Very dominant from Leviathan. Anytime they got towards the site, they were able to execute. Aspas coming online. If it was Zekken that dominated map 1, Aspas is finding his moments, and plenty of them map 2. Mazzino just straight back to looking awesome on flex.
Yeah. Hasn't missed a beat with it, really, has he? Absolutely insane stuff. Well, let's send it down to Golden.
Aspas still buying the Sheriff on the pistol, but this time on defense seems to make a little more sense to me. Zekken cannot afford to take a duel there, but he gets good info that there's 2 players over towards Halls. There was a lot of support for Sen in the crowd, and I'm sure they were stoked after map 1. And how outrageously one-sided Split was. Sen looked completely clean with it. But they are going to have to work to get this one even back to close to even.
Starts with the pistol round here. Lev trying to put a stop to it. All over the place at the beginning of the defensive setup. It was like a series of ants just losing track of the pheromones. Celsius. Com being caught there onto the lurk. It's a big one. It's an open sight on top of that. So Sen will get that plant down. Nothing to push them back. Nothing to play away from this. And it looks like a chance, potentially, to play into the back of the site. 2 players close to default. It's 10s and second with a jump spot. One flash still available.
This is where Leviathan were fighting aggressive and finding moments to put pressure on the retakers.
Pop flash, no one to receive. No connection there. Nothing to link that one back up. And here, swarming, pincering into the site here. Has to be all coordinated together. Lev might be able to find something for this. Guns, Tex! Whips that one around, doesn't he? Shock darts, buying time, lineups, buying time still. The players losing the fight, ticking down and down. Aspas realizing he can't quite stick this one. It has to be. Watch for King! No way! Sentinels barely holding on.
There were shock dart lineups coming through. We had Celsius in spawn, sending over the molly into his orb, putting pressure on Lev and stopping them from getting on the defuse early at just the right time. I was worried there for Sen, though. They made that one look a little close. Found themselves in a really good post-plant situation, but then 10s just got almost abandoned on site, just designed to try and tick as much time off the clock as possible.
Yeah, it's a difficult spot to play from. When you're in that default spot, you can get cleared very, very easily.
Especially when the rest of your team are just playing off-site post-plant lineups.
Yeah.
Everyone knows the pain of that. They're gambling that this one's going to finish on A. some of the teams that have had the most success on defensive freeze have just been stacking the opposite side to their Cypher utility.
Right here.
And kind of
Revealing
assuming that the attacking teams are going to be grouped up heavily when you first hear them at the beginning of the round. SEN are going to try to remain a little mobile. But they are leaning A.
Into the gamble, potentially. Nothing given away. Up through mid, still 50 seconds left. They hear that jump spot.
I don't think Com saw anybody. Celsius may have just shot at him.
Here we go, knife into the back, clears quite a bit there, so they feel safe now. The exec to come through onto B.
A nice flash from TenZ as well, thrown from tunnel to allow Zekken to come out of his cloudburst, just in case there was any danger on site.
If you're thinking there's any chance here for SEN to try and take this in a 2-0, has to be a clean conversion here against the anti-eco. Keep this one moving.
And not just that, it would be nice for TenZ to be the one to mop up most of these kills, because his KO ultimate could be the tool to getting some momentum online and getting them back into this game.
Ahead.
They want to fight for it. Two players that are all close. It's TenZ and Celsius. Flash is a little bit bad there. Hunting down these players, but everybody from LEV being funneled into the tunnel. John happy to go down here when he's just got the ghost in hand. TenZ swinging round, kills, and giving onto the opposing side. Everybody down to the spike.
And I think LEV, that's a bit of a win in the round for them, denying the ult points away from Sentinels. That takes a potential tool out of the hands of SEN that they could have used, like I said, to continue that momentum. I'm really looking at how SEN try to apply some pressure here. On these bonuses, you tend to have weaker weaponry. Guardian in the hands of Zekken, double Bulldog.
Scanning ahead.
Still passing by straight overhead. Flash dart and a flash dart.
And John Cudie's making his way up halls. So while Leviathan seem to be conditioning the threat in halls early in their attack half, SEN have not really gone there, and now are trying to potentially make use of the fact that LEV are going to leave it open.
Mid-play to the beginning here. Corm ends up using his drone very, very early. Does not have it now.
And this is quite a passive setup, right, from Leviathan. One of the big weaknesses with this defensive setup from LEV is that they only have one person, Com, covering multiple different lanes. Halls and that push-up into vents.
Goal's going to be an A-split. Sees the footsteps, gives him the right timing, Aspas!
There's no way.
He doesn't win the fight! Should have been set up for it. Surely you'd imagine. So King anchoring round to the back there with the door open. Ah, John QT, instantaneous with the swing and the trade.
And this is looking amazing already for Sentinels. The conversion on this bonus could be right
30
here.
seconds left.
Still chances for LEV, of course.
TenZ is going for the reflank through halls.
So weak here, 5 HP. Doors opened up. They know there's at least one player there. Nade into the back. Out wide, double face from SEN. Sassy still holding down at one angle, and I talked about chances. TenZ, last one left forward and 5 HP. Mazzino sees him first.
Great awareness there from Leviathan. And the spray down to, that certainly looked like a round that Sentinels could have converted and brought this one a lot closer. LEV managed to dismantle it. The economy is now in a really odd spot for Sentinels. TenZ bought that round. They wanted to add more power to the buy. Took a gamble down a few rounds, got into a favored post plant. And then John Cudie and Sassy just couldn't win those duels to hold on for TenZ's post plant lurk. You can see what that means. Kaplan's expression there. So because it wasn't a true bonus, SEN are now coming in here with a Guardian and a Stinger. Similar kind of economy to what we saw in round 15. It didn't hurt them too much there. They still had chances to win.
Sloppy on both sides, though, here. LEV are also chopped down to half-armor Guardians. He's for Aspas and Com.
TenZ has the ult online, and you can see what that's done. The Cypher on the other side, making sure that they can't get punished by this KO ultimate.
Well away from the setup. The goal is that B split. Yankton players are going to be set up for success. LEV, really feeling the heat. It's all the way turned up. Beautiful flash though. Aspas wide, no kill. 40 HP. Oh, chasing down the kill.
That's a disaster for Sen. They should have had Aspas dead to right.
This guy is still here. He just can't be removed from this position. Finally, Sassy takes a drop straight to him, but you're right. It's a disaster right now for Sentinels. A disaster that results into the 11th round here for LEV.
It's a fantastic flash. I called it out in a prior round, right? The B split, TenZ flashes for Zekken to be able to entry. They completely catch Aspas. He's out in the open, 40 health, one bullet would have taken him down, blinded up, and somehow managed to dodge around these boxes. And John and TenZ both decided to push through the wall to try to fight him. He's got backup and he hits a nice Guardian shot.
Let's go.
Insane situation for LEV to be able to hold on there. And that's a dagger to the heart of Sen.
Would that be something?
Extremely comfortable territory for both teams. It would be an explosive finish to this series and to this group.
It's been a weird one so far. Both one-sided affairs on either side of the maps. No way! Aspas!
How does he still get one in that position?
It's just filthy. Magnetic to the dome. He just shouldn't be getting one, should he? But he does, just Aspas things.
It's not a weapon that's particularly recoverable. They still have Zekken's Vandal, so Zellsis can work with that. And LEV double pushing down halls to try to reclaim some information. They've lost mid control. They hear the orb being tapped.
Yep.
Zellsis just squeaks away.
Silent drop down. They are none the wiser. Right
this is so
behind
fast.
them. Lurking through, the tempo increased. Sassy, he's gone. Dark close, drone now. Second guessing himself, calm. And he might have pushed up deep here. Zellsis sticking a plan this time.
Spike planted.
Knife, a little bit delayed there, but it does cancel out the drone to get too much more value. Flash, push, anti-flash by Com. Great awareness.
Very well aware.
Players now approaching the position here, diving onto them. Zellsis here. He's got to do so much here, but there's three players rapidly approaching the position. And no easy fight here from King. No easy fight at all. LEV up to that 12th now. And he's one-sided maps.
It has been a bizarre series. Clearly both of these teams are up towards the top in terms of Americas. This has been an astoundingly competitive and tough group. And yet they're blowing each other out
Match point.
on their map picks. I mean, Leviathan did not have a chance map 1, and it looks like Sen are having very limited chances here map 2 as well. It's so strange too, we started this map off with LEV being unaware of the pop flash plays into a main. They were so hyper aware there. Mazzino was playing anti-flash the entire time, fully expecting TenZ to go for that. The punish was immaculate.
Here.
Cleaned up their game.
And Sen have got to win 7 in a row.
One more round will do it, and you can see it. Misplays. Well, not quite a misplay, actually. It was Mazzino's flash that landed into Zekken's face. Stops him from pushing forwards. Another one to set them up deeper. It was TenZ's this time. Aspas! Out in the open. Wide as anything. Going for the repeat with the dash. Still there. Crouch. That's TenZ. TenZ. Dash. Avoiding, evading. Mazzino with the swing. He's definitely that supportive player helping him out. Drone. Tagged up trap. Cannot evade it. And cannot dodge it. For Sentinels, everything is just lying onto this round here. TenZ with another one.
And an unusual play there by Com. I think he must have heard the call that they were committing to B, because Com just sprinted out through double doors and has given this away for his team.
3 versus 3. Neural theft. Revealing all. King with the reposition. Almost getting caught.
LEV have lost track
This is
completely of what's going on in this round.
all over the place. Does buy a bit of time though for Sen with this plant. Getting down, 2v3, can't let it slip. Been handed a golden ticket, at least to stay in the map. Made. Back against the wall, Sassy wins his fight. 2 players to support him, in through main, and a possibility for Mazzino. And I'd have to toggle in this spot, and yeah, not happening.
And Sen have got to convert those kind of rounds where Leviathan make unforced errors. I am still confused. There must have been some major communication issue there with what LEV thought was happening. Because Sen had just taken some mid control. They knew that there were still players in mid. It's a nice shot on a weird off angle. But they knew that TenZ was there. They just had that kill. And yet, Com and King lost track of what was happening entirely. So that's the first of what would have to be, again, 7 in a row in order for us to go to overtime. So many other chances for LEV. But their economy, kept honest, has now been knocked down.
Still, you got to think. So much breathing room for Leviathan. They only need the one.
When you're a player in this situation, it does sometimes just feel kind of inevitable. Like, yeah, we're going to get one at some point. We don't have to worry about it too much. But as the comeback starts ticking up, things can get very real very quickly.
Poison's off.
Slight mid-pressure here from Sentinels. They are taking a time of it. They're worried about wading and walking into a potential stack of Leviathan.
Now, we've seen this angle before. It didn't work out for Aspas, but it should. It's so unexpected. The drone should clear it, however.
Yeah, has to respect it. Drops down, protects. Close to the corner. Bonnie hopping away. Zekken.
He made a footstep. Mazzino knew he was there.
Even the sound cues betrayed by it. Up through mid now. Different direction called by Sen. With only 33 seconds left. The rotation has been pulled by LEV. Look at it. They've got so many bodies just sitting into halls, expecting that to go in that direction. But all of them now regrouping up. Recognizing what's on the line. John QT. John QT. It's traded.
The trade is actually perfect for Leviathan. It gives them another gun to work with.
Sassy's going down. All of this, it's crumbling. And yes, the Viper's pit is up, but Celsius, you got a lot to do in this spot. 3 players. Guns acquired. And that one round that stood between them, LEV, they can feel it now. Under their control, in their grasp. A chance for map 3, and we will get it.
LEV on a thrifty, pulling it away. Dashing the chances of Sen to get any kind of comeback going. So dominance, able to get those explosive retakes happening. However, one of the other parts is it can be difficult to get back into the sites if you don't keep backside control on by. That's something I'm going to be keeping an eye on. Aspas has bought a Sheriff. There's a trap play happening here. Looking to put some pressure, but no damage onto Zekken.
Any sort of reaction called by Sen. Still playing her own game. Not worried about the fact that there was 2 players there into hookah, and the rotation's already abound here for LEV. Pressure on pretty much every section of the map. You can feel it, the uncertainty that's settling into the pistol round.
This is the value of the Yoru. Go and take showers at the beginning, make it look like B, you can end A. You're just teleporting all over the map. Look, they've grabbed 3 players B. They hit the weak side.
Aspas, though, he's going to be fast on the rotation here. King and Com playing close, defending the smokes. They won't cross past that line that was drawn straight through the sand. A good opening. Now Lamps seeking to try and grab that one, but right into the crosshair of Aspas. Nasty, nasty stuff. TP. It's going to be called for the rotation, but with 40 seconds left, you can pick and choose your destination. Will there be a return on the fire?
Yes.
Looking to re-clear into short. They can hear it. Aspas hears it. He knows exactly what is up. Calling for the flash of him and his team. No clearance at all. It's all Aspas. Here to stay, here to play. And a round win for LEV. Pistol round claimed.
And if you thought Aspas was dominant on Breeze, on Jet, he's just as good here with his Raze. Sassy's going to be staring across the stage, thinking, what have I done? How could I unleash this monster upon the world?
He's a mad scientist.
But what a play. I mean, Aspas able to pick up that kill so cleanly in Lamps, and then the re-push down short, beautifully timed. This is a position he loves to play from. You'll see him on top of truck constantly. Great for dodging utility, going for a little peek out, trying to punish somebody, walking up short. Now, in general, I would say Sentinels on their attack side tend to fight over B-long and showers at the start of the rounds. We'll see whether LEV just give it to them. This round they have.
Spike down A.
Wide out in the open, seeking at least a bit of damage done here. You to them. I mean, players going down. Still, TenZ is weak enough. You got to think there's not as much danger. John QT.
That's really bold from Aspas. If he had been punished for that push, Makes the round eminently more winnable for Sen.
Forward position. Spike
Got a spike.
regained.
They know that Aspas is here on A. They now know that the Sky is in some kind of area around here. This is triggering the spike to go over towards B, but Com flashed and immediately went back. Don't think Tens will be anticipating having to deal with a Sky over here.
It's just an unlikely fight to win. Just being jiggled onto the corner by Com.
One enemy
Yeah.
remaining.
And minor
30
adjustment.
seconds.
But the spike drops, the round pretty much over and done with.
How many rounds is Aspas going to hold on to the Outlaw? That's what I'm looking at, because he started off on Breeze. I don't know what point it got taken out of his hands, but it must have been.
I think he might have just kept rebuying it.
Yeah.
I don't think he cared. He's been tracking the economy. He was getting so much work done at the start of Breeze.
Everyone on Sentinels is able to buy, apart from John Cutie, actually, who, if he wants to purchase the orb, is going to need light armor, I believe. Yeah, and so he goes for it. So it's only John Cutie that will die to a single shot from Aspas. But so far, LEV have looked like they've got some proactive ideas. But having said that, they have been giving Sentinels showers control at the start.
Flash. Making Tex think twice about that approach. Trailblazer is broken. 2 shots landed. Mazzino. It's nice with it, but no kill there onto second heal. Still online. TP into Lamps. There's no real prior setup to that one, and Tens just goes down. Simple as you go. 3 players now. Call is made to reclear. They are just trying to run this one down into the close quarter weaponry. Straight up brawl being taken. Trying to overwhelm it with the firepower. Molly's cross side. That's seeking to delay a potential plant onto the default spot. All of this pulling the util out, but the pause in the play that's caught by Sen, maybe they can pivot into a different direction.
Com is there, ready and waiting. Should they fly through the teleporter? Looks like a very good setup at the moment from LEV.
Noise is cut. Finally, signs of life here. Zelsis with the plant. Gets it. Off and online.
That's a big win for Sen. Being able to get the plan down without taking any damage.
There's a player disadvantage. Sen over-peaking themselves a little bit there. John QT going down. Only 2 of them left. Second. Has got to try and hold it down here with the reload. They're going to start to know he's in there, anticipating with the double face. Still, he needs some damage, he needs some kills, he needs something, at least anything right now to make this winnable for his team. Swarmed and overwhelmed. Too much pressure, and LEV with the bonus round conversion. Off to a blinding start here, map number 3.
And there were some amazing moments in that round. Leviathan gave showers, but then crunched it afterwards. Com put the dog through the teleporter, put enormous amounts of pressure on Tens, and that's how the teleport ended up coming through. This TP is because Tens got showers crunched and ended up just having to go for his teleport, thinking, hoping that Lamps was safe, got punished. And then John Cutie got one shot by the Outlaw because he had that light armor. 2 really important moments there that allow LEV advantages and momentum, really big momentum.
Minutia in the round.
And I mean, look at this. Sentinels can't afford to invest that heavily in this round because they don't want light armor in the next.
Makes them all the more susceptible once more to Aspas, but he's not in the direction they're heading towards. Ult, Dimensional Drift, picking out the players. It's a full disengagement. They don't want anything to do with this one. They're willing to give up the site. Util still coming out flying. Looking to push them back, but Zelsis will get this plan online. Smokes fading out in the open. Lovely timing for Tex to catch.
They would like to have Com Seekers here, but he's pretty far away. LEV are going to be late into this one.
Flash,
amazing
into the back. That's Tens. Yeah, just taking a fight, and the gate crashes right out of there. So, still alive. Lamps control needs to be held. Seeker paving the way, pushing forwards. Clap into the corner. They know exactly he is there. Wingman trying to lead that charge for them. A very, very, very wide face. Tex, he falls. And still, these Stingers putting in so much damn work. 2 versus 2. Never reposition. Damage there. How do you deny the spike? How do you deny this at all? You cannot. A decent attempt. A decent chance. Barely, barely. Just not enough there for Sen.
It looked like there was so much danger in that round. I mean, Sen were making plays. I love the flash peeks into backside. Tens has got this Yoru tech down perfectly. The bounce flashes, the pop off the triple box, it's just so good. But at the same time, LEV played passively most of it. controlled the areas, got some of the kills back.
One enemy remaining.
And they're out to a 4-0 start. Aspas yet to die. Demon unleashed.
This guy is just ridiculous.
And now look, I was talking about SEN not wanting to invest too heavily in the previous round. They are actually all on light armor. So they'll be glad that Aspas has gone back to a Phantom, I think.
He's holding a close tuck position with the showstopper.
This is going to be brutal.
Hold on. The dog gives an indicator. Burst it down. Stun is there. Has to use the ult here. Sen flying and wide. So honestly, Sen getting the betterment of that engagement.
Yeah, I think it's really important there that the Trailblazer actually found a stun on Aspas.
Launching smoke.
Smoke's dropped down. It's just the go button being pressed here by Sen. Good awareness by Lev. Look at that.
Celsius just got his ult up.
On QT, 2 players. They just miss him, but he doesn't claim the kill, doesn't confirm it. Flash. It's dodged, but he's got to back away from this. Got to make the call now that the flank is compromised for the rest of this team. Is going to throw an extra element into the round. Potential disarray.
Oh,
Dealt with. Nasty business, but I think a single one would have done it there for John QT, and they are cleaning up the players on every single section of the map. This retake from Lev, no longer playable. No likelihood, especially now that King has fallen.
A big repush there from Sen. Being able to dismantle that trap that Aspas had set up with the showstopper ended up being crucial.
Yeah, critical.
Lev chose the timing afterwards to go and re-explore hookah, and Sen just wandered into the site. They didn't even have to use Zelsis post-plant utility, the molly or the ult. They still have that available. A good round to get on the board early for Sen and not allow Lev to become a runaway train. At the end of the day, this round ended up being fairly simple because that gap existed over towards short, over towards B long, sorry.
Now a group up. Zelsis orbital strike. Got that one ready and waiting. Call is being made though to take that showers control. You made note of it, Lev. They're not really fighting it.
No, I think Zekken should have a free ult off the back of this. The ult orb's not particularly being contested. Tens is a monster if you do try to fight this area. And it's hard to know whether he's there on his own or has incredible backup, as is the case in this round. So now Zekken gets the showstopper online. Lev will know that. You know, they can see that, holding down tab, that the Raze was in showers, took the orb. Tex comes over.
It's an off-angle high ground position by Aspas. He's seeking to try and stop this showstopper straight in the air. Backs away though. Here's a showstopper. Then flying satchel. Second one blinded up. Zekken, what's he going to do? Making the most over the top. Again blinded. It's just precision with these flashes, and he just sends it flying. It's a random guess.
I'm pretty sure that was a team flash there as well, though.
Nasty, nasty stuff. Feeling it now. Want to try to take the fight to them. They want to fight them! That's Tex just offloading into the ult. He just creeped himself forwards.
Healing over
Thrash really punishing him there. Heal online. Zekken back up to 100. 4 versus 4. Zelsis, remember, has this ult in the post flat, has the molly, sends it flying with the first tap. It's going to be pushing him away. Lev, under that time pressure. Under that time pressure indeed, but already these tools are being pulled out of them in a pretty rapid way. Reposition out with a nade. Peace of mind granted to Sentinels here, but still there's that feeling at the back of their heads. A tap from Mazzino. Anybody overstepping themselves? Definitely kills to be claimed and found. Aspas flick towards the side, but now it's run out. All the tools that we were talking about prior. Too much to deal with.
Very nice post plant by Sen. Every tool used to perfection there. The ult, the molly coming through. Zekken even finding a timing as he repositioned over towards short to just turn around and throw his Raze nade at the spike. Now what is... I think that's part of the ult animation, just pushes it into Zekken's POV there.
It's like carting it out.
Yeah, that's brutal.
Oh my, the molly missed. That's why he had to use the ult. Did not spot that.
Yeah, it looked like the molly had landed, but yeah, great catch from the observers. So I guess at the end of the day, that was really important that Zekken managed to get his Raze nade off there. King has a judge to hold hookah. Sen have not been putting a lot of pressure on hookah. They're not the kind of team that tends to do, you know, 5-person hookah bursts. They're expecting something in this round, though. Very patient beginning. Most of the time, Sen's timing is based off that gate crash. As it starts to get low, as you see here, Tens moves his way over, and an A-leaning default turns into a B-lean. Lev, though, got the read, and Aspas is already on his way.
Already fast with it.
I've got your
Into the back of the site now with the nade really clear this one out. Aspas. It's out wide here. Damage bullet spraying going wide still. They haven't contained Hookah. One player sitting there takes him to the back, and he attempts to hit the transfer, but only one kill. Tap with the rifle still. Dodging and juking with the movement, not quite enough there, and there's a reason why King wasn't swinging. He's only got the judge to his name.
They've navigated this perfectly. What a mid-round call. Center off to A. And King hasn't been spotted. He's going to be coming down short. Is there any chance he gets this kill? He's close. He's close.
No way!
And he's going to get a rifle upgrade.
Hold on. Chances for Lev. If they get one more, but Mazzino is being hunted. Awareness from him off the charts right now. Awareness off the charts. Missing the timing. Zekan. Stalking his prey. King. The fuse half, but as the orb fades away, so does his life.
And after a 4-0 beginning to this map by Leviathan, all momentum now halted. Sen have won 3 in a row. Really nicely getting into sights. The engage there was really strong. And this Harbor ultimate, any opportunity to try to have some kind of retake.
one enemy remaining.
It was too little too late.
Yeah.
It actually looked like Lev had the read there. They were starting to rotate to reinforce the B site, but Sentinels popped out. And with this, the flashes coming out from Tens and Sassy are very difficult to try to hold on against. This time Lev double up, trying to fight over showers, seeing if they can battle Tens in that position. He's not interested. He's got the ult, got a shorty, and got his eyes set on punishing Com or King.
Big crash at his back as well. That's his exit strategy. Spots one. Giving the information out to the rest of his team with a hard wall. Going wide. Does Tens want to make a go of this one, or does he respect them? Looks like the respect is being shown through the TP now. Exits out, and all that noise that was being made opens up Tex onto the wider angle. Still, Aspas. Boombot at his feet. They know he's there. Nade's going flying forwards, avoiding. Doesn't bait the shot out just from the decoy jump spot, seeing if they can hunt him. Oh, he's got a nade in his hands. King, he's jumping right through the air with that. Judge found. Dropped to the floor now with the rifle. The Viper's Pit. Deep Shroud is going to be coating the rest of this point. Makes it very, very difficult now.
Here.
How do you get through this site? Flanks might be the keys. Zelsis shoulder to shoulder, shoulder to shoulder! And Zelsis with 2! 1 versus 1! Being approached to Mazzino!
How have Lev managed to pull that out? It looked like Sassy was going to be able to hold off the flank from Com. He got cut off by the Viper wall from his own team, couldn't really contest that. Really awkward position as Zelsis backed up into the flank. It could have been anybody's based on the timing. It really could have.
Enemy down.
But 3 in the round from Mazzino, including a really important 1v1 at the end. He started the round with a Spectre.
Остался один игрок.
Sentinels are going to take a timeout here. What are they going for? What's the discussion going to center around? Like this, where your beginning of the season, your chances for Madrid are all on the line against an opponent that, on either side, has blown you out on one of the maps. The pressure can really start to mount.
It's with bated breath. We sit here watching these two teams now clashing. That last chance of play-ins. Hotly contested group that they are in.
Com, jiggle peeking over towards B long. We've seen teams get punished for going for that. He's just trying to maximize his utility. Doesn't want to use the flashes. Didn't get punished. But at some point here, he's going to have to grab a little more info towards B long.
Viper's picked up down into A short. It means that really you can place a lot of players here from left. Look at it, 3 of them. Crossfire setups, a call made to potentially re-clear it and refight this one. Yes, with the Dizzy over the top, catching the decoy. Sassy, he's dropped them. 2 of them, in fact. Can't withstand it. Mazzino still close into the tube. And the second who doesn't overstay it, look at it, just gets the info and waits for the rest of his team to really collect.
Leviathan wanted to fight forwards there because Sentinels have such a great composition for getting into sight, and then when Zelsis has his ult online, the post is going to be very difficult as well. So I understand, respect the choice there from LEV to go for a re-clear strategy, but their players didn't appear to be on the same page with the timing. There were 3 people on B, 1 was holding back, not involved in the play, and the timing from Tex and Com a little off. Doesn't help that they shot 10's clone either and got a flash to the face. So LEV not quite being able to execute their idea of how they wanted to stop SEN. And the great thing about that from Sentinels POV, didn't even have to use the Brim ult.
Yeah,
this is still going to be a massive tool for any other potential post plan. And if that threat forces LEV to increase the tempo on their defense and they can't handle it, they can't execute it, then SEN are going to be rewarded more of these opportunities to punish the errors.
Real fight back here from SEN. I mean, almost evening up the rounds.
And you just see it from that POV there from Sassy. He's actually in a fairly comfortable spot. He doesn't have utility being thrown into his face. He dodged both of the flashes, and he just is able to pick them off one at a time. Excellent angle, really nice position to avoid that reclear.
Xeno throwing out a couple of variations of this early wall. Either one for the TP and A short, but this one through hookah.
Leviathan have been putting 2 people into showers to try to stop 10s. This is the first time he's gone there. And he's out. And again, the A default turns into a B default, putting pressure onto Com.
So much information gathered from that Trailblazer. Wasn't broken by Com, still is holding it down into elbow. Seeking an attempt to pop out with the reflash attempt. Sassy, he was there, not sure if he was blind or what, but the player's trying to flood in through the back. That was Aspas with the rifle. Still, Wall's going to be cutting up the side here. And that timing, still watching for transfer. Tex eventually brought down. King, it's late to the party here with just the judge in hand. Don't think he's going to be able to get access to too many more guns, but maybe Zora in. Okay.
Good try, but not enough. The more I'm thinking about this, Bren, the more Leviathan's composition, I think, is particularly unsuited to dealing with SEN's B exec. And the reason I say that is, the big thing that's weird about how Leviathan have structured their bind composition is that they don't have a brimstone in there. They don't have somebody that can smoke off hookah with a smoke that kind of blooms out around. It's just walls, right? It's all walls from Mazzino and from King. What that means is you can't hide inside your own hookah smoke to dodge flashes, right? That is a really common defensive setup. You set Leviathan have thrown out.
Even the reclear in a fight that was a little bit prior, a few rounds back.
And things only get more dangerous here.
Ten's gaining a lot of ground just by himself here out towards Showers. But look at it. I mean, there's no real changes or shifts in terms of the way they're playing this. He's not scared.
No, he's not at all.
And he knows it because he's been given so much space.
Yeah, I think
there's only been one time when he tried to fight back.
Yeah, I think the way that Tens plays Euro on this map is pretty immaculate. It creates so much cross-map pressure on the attack side.
Stim beacon down.
But it's the same game plan. Why would you change it if it's working? And Tens can entry for them, get good information here with his ultimate.
He will be pinging him out.
Recall, too, that the last time Tens used his ult into B, it was a fake. So it's really difficult for LEV to tell whether there's something real behind this.
It has pulled 3 of these players out. There's a attempt down A short at the same time. Fights happening all over the place.
This is what they did last time.
Shuts down Zekken. Lurk attempt there, not working out. And yeah, it was that fake. And despite the fact that there's only 2 players here, it's Mazzino who just shuts down any funny business. Over the top of the nade, now a TP, pivot right back into B. I mean, they might think they've done enough here, but there's still 3 players waiting. Now the thrash, over the strike, into the back! It collides directly! Tex, he has to cancel and get out of there, but King dies and falls to it. Close. But Sassy there, Flash, pushing forwards, and eventually with the spray, it finds its mark, finds its target, Aspas, roundabout, sprayed through! Oh my god!
Sassy should never have had a chance in the 1v3 in that situation, but the lineup almost made a believer out of me. Aspas puts him down. 11-4, the superstar player for Leviathan, allowing them to get another one on the board as Lev take the lead. But it's this kill that's really important. You know, Mazzino's going for a peek there, thinking, you know, this is really similar to the last time that they used the Euro ult on B and then they just walked down shore. Fool me once. Shame on me. You can't fool me again.
Classic. You gotta love it. Standard Molly. Seen that one before. Zekken.
Beacon down.
A rocket here. Good answer back. That is so fast. Come. It's been jump spotting that a lot, but a jump. Oh, head taken off. Another rocket just in case there is one extra straggler. Zekken waiting until the very final moment, but there's good discipline here by LEV. Nobody be falling victim to it. Still, three of them with a lot to do. Maybe Aspas can do it with an ult of his own.
I really like an aggressive position here from TenZ. If he can try and force out the ult early and throw a gate crash to reconnect with the rest of his team, he's just going to neutralize Aspas.
So nice. It's so difficult to try and retake into this. The wall, an attempt at least to try and, again, partition. Segment up there. It's blinded up. He doesn't know where to fire it. Cove to try and get themselves out. Damage done though. Texas drops to 4 HP. That's enough. Weak and Sassy. Cleaning them all up. 6-6. That's the scoreline we're looking at here for Bind. A nice even affair. Very different to our opening 2 maps.
Only 3 rounds gained for the losing team on Split. 6 on Breeze. We're guaranteed to have a more even game. And you saw Sentinels really well adapted to what was going on in this. They just ended up be-execing over and over and over. And there was nothing that LEV could really do to stop them.
Nice, boys. Good half, boys.
Good stuff so far, giving us that competitive game. Let's send it down. Based onto this pistol round.
And the Desk are right. Leviathan on their attack side did look really solid. The flash dizzy combos into backside, they're so difficult to hold against. But SEN have got a strat for this pistol round. 4 players grouped up over towards B, as only TenZ grabs info and then has a gate crash out to heaven.
Long distance Cove. Lands, creates some space here. Wingman to plant inside. But guess what? TenZ is right there, waiting for the time to strike. Gives it up, actually. Lets the plant go off.
Yeah, that's an interesting decision. Trying to prioritize kills instead of plant denial. His team's trying to find some solid retake spots here.
SEN do have showers control. It's going to be important. Sectioning off the map. Only one part available to LEV here, playing this post. Awareness. He sees it. He saw it. John QT wins it. Nolly at the feet. Mazzino. Oh, he's running and cutting. Can't get away with that, surely. But now, just up to Tex. Yes, it's planned for him. Always an opportunity, always a chance. Cover, cover, cover. TenZ. Half of the defuse is granted. Sassy. He's got to stick it. He's got to stick it. He's got to stick it. Oh!
What a great attempt from Tex towards the end. But SEN somehow managed to come away with that one. They got the player advantage early on. John won a really important duel. Somehow, Aspas went down to a molly as well from Zelsis. Not exactly sure how that one happened. And it still came down to the tightest of margins.
That's an important one for SEN. As we've been mentioning, as the Des mentioned, LEV's attack side on this map, nothing to scoff at. They are deadly.
TenZ has tucked himself into the short cubby here as Leviathan takes showers control. Got to be wary of these kind of spots, because if TenZ grabs one, he's going to be tough to trade. He's going to be out of there real fast.
Portal closed.
We get Crash fades, so he doesn't actually have the exit strategy anymore, and there's lots of players waiting for him. Sets up the second one. Second's going to be close as well, just a bit of extra firepower necessary over the shoulder here, but I think there's not too much danger still.
The slower you play these rounds, the more likely it is that TenZ has used those teleports and they've run out of time. And that will put him into a straight up one and done.
Look at it, it's running out, seeks to try and take the peak with the wall. Dog in his face, yeah, okay. He's backed. Through short. Flash, nice. Bam, right through the smoke, the correct angle and play, but they have given up part of the site. No rotations from SEN just yet. They're thinking they could have pivoted through the TP. If they really still choose to.
30 seconds left.
And leave that territory for John QT to contest and contain. 25 seconds, still no signs of the spike even being planted. 20 seconds left, got to get a move on. A fight into the back of the side. Is that what's being called? Swinging, yeah, with the dizzy. Still,
Spike down.
players dropping. 2 left standing for LEV. These players either get the spike down or they need to go down, and they will finally fall.
throughout that entire round, Celsius puts down so much pressure on the plant just by popping down a smoke. It just makes LEV so uncomfortable to be able to get the plant down. I think LEV's composition when they have rifles on board is really going to want to clear out the entirety of the site. They just kind of got stuck there. That's the smoke I'm talking about.
10 seconds left.
I think you'll see much more aggression from Leviathan comboing up the flash with the Dizzy to fight in general on A, now that they've got rifles on board.
Goal is showers. There's an orb there, ready and waiting for the taking. Texi wants to get his ult online. Tens. He's got gate crash. This is an attempt to fight this onto the bonus round. Shots fired. Zekken.
I don't like this spot.
No way.
Mazzino can clear it.
Surely. The dog! Oh, it forces the issue. Mazzino, he sped it up there when he heard the dog coming through the TP, but he still catches Zekken in that one and done. Wall now. Straight up and through. Full position by Celsius. Oh my, he's detained. Will there be saving grace to him? Tens is at the back, but he's only got the sheriff. Still lands the second shot. Trades it out. This is a very, very awkward spot. LEV finding difficulties now onto their buy round. Doesn't have the spike. I mean, Tex is just unaware of that one. He was looking like he wanted to right click to try and get it online. Finally picked up. Plant. Sassy denies it. They're everywhere, man. They're in the walls. They're in the walls. King drops Tens. 1 versus 2. Spike out in the open. It was default. John crouched. Do they have anybody eyes on to watch this?
Well, Leviathan have dropped the ball at the beginning of this attack site. And Desk was asking the question, was 6 enough for Sentinels? But if LEV are playing like this, it's easily going to be. I mean, they had a flash and a Dizzy to be able to try to put pressure into backside there and get Celsius. And instead, Com just goes through on his own. Instead of using any utility, dies, Spike's lost. Tex took too long to recover the Spike, Flank came through. A clod hopping round there.
It's a nice one. I'll have to pull out a dictionary later.
Awkward, clumsy.
Okay, thank you. Half buy for LEV. We know there's danger here. We know there's a chance, but in all likelihood, Sen could be the advantage team. They've got the setups ready. That wall goes up. There's an molly. Snake bite drop down instantly. I see his jump spotting though. Now LEV were good at punishing this in prior games.
But you can't really do it with the weaponry that they have. I mean, what are you going to do? ADS Stinger the guy that's...
Has to be one to the dome with the sheriff, and it's only Tex who's got it. He's nowhere near. Could be the advantage team. They've got the setups ready. That wall goes up. There's an molly. Snake bite drop down instantly. I see his jump spotting though. Now LEV were good at punishing this in prior games.
But you can't really do it with the weaponry that they have. I mean, what are you going to do? ADS Stinger the guy that's...
Has to be one to the dome with the sheriff, and it's only Tex who's got it. He's nowhere near. Fast though. Cove to get themselves out. Nade. Rebounds Dizzy and a flash. Nade though. Oh my!
That is so good. A bounce. No, it's a bounce lineup that comes through from the molly, actually. So all of the players vulnerable up.
Disgusting work. That's a drilled play.
1 enemy remaining.
And this is Sentinels with a momentous lead. That is 10-6 now.
That looks so clean. Yeah, as soon as they realize that this player's coming through hookah there, you look at John's POV, he bounces a snake bite off the wall, lands right there at hookah. Everybody's vulnerable. They commit to it anyway. And all good. And look at it there, off the wall. Absolutely gorgeous.
The nade onto the floor. Oh, it's nasty.
I mean, if you commit there, you are dead. That forces a cancel call that Leviathan were not willing to make. So now LEV have rifles to lose. They're not allowed to lose when they have a roster like this. Their backs are firmly up against the wall here, pushed by Sen, a team that's taken the offseason very seriously, made massive improvements.
Just been wasting that time. They've been honing these compositions. Aiming for a chance at a top spot. Chance of an international event.
See here, Sentinels thinking that it's over towards B, might end up going for a reclear. Zekken has nade.
TP'd away, Aspas. Forced to navigate that spot. Doors opened up, Boombody doesn't know if he's entirely out of dodge. Boombots there, forces the gate crash forwards.
It's quite good, really, for Leviathan. They've taken control of showers now and pushed TenZ away, and they can always return back to B long. Because SEN are very unlikely to, re-clear that area and then just stay there. So although time has been ticked off the clock, SEN have lost a lot of information and control. Both outer wings of the map, vulnerable. They do not know where this is ending.
What is that?
Toxins going up.
About to say, a bit of a weakened setup out towards B here. Do you still want to try and go off this? Lev, Seekers were used by Sassy. Knows that there's a couple of players still lurking, loitering, waiting around, but are going to be playing more passive position. Sean QT, though, he's in trouble. Dizzy in a flash into the back, along with the showstopper, the rocket sent flying Aspas on top of, really, the shed there. High ground angles, Aspas. Beautiful work, plant. Oh, push back. Molly actually missing there, I believe. Supposed to, actually, no. Yeah, okay, plant down. TenZ with the decoy, aiming to get some ground. Flash through over the top, but this is a great call by Lev. Look at this, nobody really playing onto long. It's a doubled up position into elbow. Crossfire is going to be set up on well, yeah. All Aspas.
What a round for Aspas to come alive. Leviathan desperately needed that.
Going to scatter from my stuff.
And it wasn't looking good for them. When John QT picks off one and it's Mazzino, I think that gives away that you're ending B. And Mazzino is not likely to be lurking while playing Harbor. And that is a tight angle. Wow. Don't try that one in your ranked games.
Yeah.
Unless you've got reactions like these guys.
Or 0 ping.
Yeah, true. Very, very true. That's a land crack angle.
Let's go, round by round.
And a huge round by Aspas. What we saw from Leviathan in the game against Loud is that Aspas doesn't need to dominate for them to have chances to win. But my God, it does help.
It certainly does, but they managed to navigate that last round. We talked about the importance of it. Lev get another buy. They build up these ultimates. It's the fuel they need to start this fire, potentially get this nice and even here on our final map.
There's a great setup here from Sentinels over towards short. You've got Op taking contact, playing TenZ in.
Seekers, got to respect this one now. TenZ is really overstaying his welcome. Decoy finally backs away. Harbor roll. Clearing most of the way. Players still not in.
Look at the flank.
The choke. There's a flank attempt. Creating all this noise. There's a Trailblazer right behind them. They are not shying away from it. Showstopper. Where the hell is this one landing? Flash play. They're going to meet them head on, and they will. Left. Trying to hold this one. Shorty damage. Oh my. Pulled and picked apart. 2 versus 2. Now Zalsis weakened from a prior engagement. Doesn't have the life to really go into this fight too easily. No more mollies for King. It's a double up call by Lev. Double up call by Lev, and they swing it. No more util. No more life. Very little chances, especially when the discipline is like that.
Very well converted there towards the end in the 2v2. Celsius not using the smoke for spike, or perhaps thinking that it was planted over towards triple instead. And there was a lot of chaos in this kind of situation. Mostly because of this heavy push on the flank. But Lev ended up dealing with it. I think that's one of the other advantages.
Keep going for long defense, okay?
One of the other advantages of running the Gecko, actually, is that Tex was still able to fight while planting because the wingman was doing that job. Little bro really helping out. Now, I think, did we just hear the call there to dominate B long, play for ults?
Understand the importance of trying to get more of those ults online. This round is not a give me for just Lev. You know, they're not going to be able to just get this one for free. We're up against a couple of rifles, the Bulldogs. Always a chance here. Trailblazer.
And TenZ is holding a really solid flash lineup where you can swing off the back of it. Double flash.
Yeah.
But nobody was pushing up off the back of Com's Trailblazer.
Worth noting this entire time. Second, he's got an off angle in showers. He hasn't been dislodged.
Yeah, keeping showers control here would be massive for Zekken. And so, this could be a round where we see Wingman getting obliterated by a Brim ultimate. I just want to prime people for that. Keep your emotions in check if it does happen.
Shy your eyes away. Flash. Jiggle almost with the punish. Celsius in trouble here. Plant.
Oh no. Oh, he didn't
actually
go for
broken. Yeah, that was a nade, I believe. Finally, second go of things. A tap. And Aspas. Let's take care of at least one of the players there into Showers. Another tap this time. Look at that. Cool, calm, collect. There's only 18 seconds left, I think. Celsius still with the molly in hand. Tex going for the plant. Rebounds at his feet. Decay! Oh my! 10 seconds. We still haven't dealt with Sassy. 8 seconds left into the back of the site. It's getting a little bit hectic. It's getting overwhelming. But they've just about done it. All of the problems in this round. With barely any seconds left. It leaves it just only up to 10s. I mean, the investment of that round, he knows he has to keep the rifle.
In that round, I mean, huge moments happening all over the place. They deny the plant coming down at the beginning, so obviously there's some time pressure. But when Aspas gets that kill onto Zekken, first of all, enormous kill, which again confirms how much impact Aspas is having in this map. But it also means that I think they believed Showers was clear. And in fact, Sassy had gone through the teleporter and was over there to help.
Yeah.
It looked like Lev had lost track of that a little bit. But Sassy went for a real aggro swing. Once the time started ticking down, Sen called to try to end the round right there.
One kill, important kill, but they don't claim it onto 10s. And you're right. And Sassy feeling like he had to force the issue, you know. They didn't know he was there. He had to be the playmaker in a moment, but he wasn't expecting a double swing. That's a disgusting angle.
And I feel like sometimes when the time ticks so low like that, it's actually the defending team that ends up being caught up in the chaos.
Yeah,
because they can see the win.
Yeah, they're thinking about the win conditions and like, well, if we deny the plant just this one time.
In general, in the last 3 rounds, Lev have managed to dodge those plays. Here's more danger in short to start round 20.
Crossfire setup. Celsius behind the box. It's second.
Smokes down.
Just taking that timing. Smokes. Drop deep. Trailblazer. Clears him. Has to get out of there. Dodges the bullets. Just about.
This
Reposts himself.
This is a really interesting one. Sentinels are threatening that they could have walked down
Oh my,
sand.
the wall. One kill. Ooh. 10s. And he trades through the box. So much damage. Celsius has to respond. He has to try and stop them from flooding back in. And they have. Just done it. Cove dropped down now. There was that pause in the play that was caught by the left players, but there's only 2 of them left. Versus the 4. And it will come down to heroics for any chance of winning this one. Sen should be the 11th round for them. Seekers invested. Has to be the safety with the ult. King eventually traded. And Mazzino low enough, they knew it. He had to stick the plant.
Great idea from Sen coming out of their timeout. They take short control with 3 players, and then Celsius puts a smoke down at market. And you can see with the minimap pings, actually, that Leviathan are worried about that push down sand. So that forces them to commit to short, to commit to that, and basically just walk into Sentinel setup.
Spike planted. 1 enemy remaining.
Lovely idea as well from Zekken. Satchel's out, gets back into the position, gives him the 1 kill, sets it up for the trade from 10s. I talked about how important it was. That's the 11th round for them. Can afford to get the guns still there. Prevents Leviathan from getting even more ults online.
We could see a Showers crunch here happening. Leviathan are taking aggressive control of this area.
Brave indeed. Flash through! Oh my! He's in it already. Where is the gate crash on the other side of the map? 10s should be able to defend himself. Does he really want to stay sitting around this area? Trailblazer, they are dropping like flies right now. Lev, they don't stand a chance in this moment. And 10s, there is that safety there. The safety net that prior Utah just laid down.
But also look at this push through market right now. I mean, this is just huge.
They're ready to catch these players. No one looking behind.
All of the distraction of the Showers crunch.
Sen, look at this. I mean, the awareness from them. 3 players. They're not even holding for backside control.
Oh, this is masterfully played in this round from Sen. Lev didn't quite know what to do. And they're getting ferried around the map. Since Kaplan took the timeout, Sen have completely been controlling the tempo, just shepherding Lev around.
Despair is settling in. Lev, you've got to make the call here to contact clear into everything, but they're ready. They're ready. They're more than ready for all of it. And what's ready to come here, Lev?
Time to jump.
Only the 1. Zekken taken out. Plant for the back of the site. Now the time to strike is nigh. Sen starting to put the squeeze on them. Come.
Wow,
a massive kill. John QT, he baits. He baits. He baits and reveals his position. He didn't want to swing for the trade there just to try and play for the percentage play, but there's still 2 players up. Com, damage done now. Texu, at least the ult popped off. Detainment into the corner. Celsius, he's got to watch his teammates' body. He's got to watch his teammates' body. John QT, long distance runner. This time he will not make the same mistake by waiting that timing out.
One round away for Sen to make our play-ins and continue that dream of being able to make it to Madrid. Lev up against the ropes. I think you can sense some of the nerves though. Sen almost misplayed such an enormous player advantage situation there. They allowed too much space for Com to work around. Things almost got very dangerous.
Very dangerous indeed.
It would have to be 3 rounds in a row though for Leviathan on a bad buy, Stinger, double Guardian.
Look at the ults for Sen. Set this one up. It should be the slam dunk. The road to play-ins begins 1 round away.
Toxin screen down.
Waiting it out. Boombot not seeing anything early on here. Smoke's just being refreshed. Down to the minute mark. Anti-flash for Zelsis. He's worried about it. Pop flash plays, especially when the noise gets cut, but Dizzy over the top. Can't play anti to that. Mosh pit through and into the back. So Lev, a little bit of sight control, a little bit of a semblance of that one, but they don't have showers this entire time. 10 might be a real difference maker. Snake bite. Drops him. Wingman won't be able to get that plant down, so not into the post just yet. And I talked about it, Tens. It's so important that he maintains control. Dimensional drift. Realizes he's being threatened. He's pinging out of place. He's body blocking them. They're spamming them down. Flash, play, anti. Having a dodge and juke, play and rocket! Second! It's monstrous! And Sentinels are going to the play-ins!
What a fantastic final round to get that one done.